tired of looking at that trailer, I see.
It was an eyesore.
Yeah, it's been sitting there for a while.
Well, we've been trying to fill it up with junk that needs to go to the dump.
Yeah.
You know, slowly. But I'm tired of looking at it. Right here when I'm building stuff, it's in the way, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, and it's definitely going to be in the way the longer and further we go with the pole barn build, right?
Yeah, so just get out of the way. That way I can mow this stuff too. Look at, I mean, weeds everywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty overgrown around the trailer.
I don't think it's moved in a year.
Yeah, it's been a little while. I was trying to remember the last time we used it, and I honestly can't think of. You said the kitchen cabinets, which, hey, that's a possibility.
That's what I think.
You know?
It's been a long time.
Yeah. Well, I can agree that the feel really did change over here. Mowed it, got rid of that trailer, just really opened it up over here. Right, Jana? Yeah, Jana agrees. It looks good. Once this pile of wood's out of the way, it really opened it up, but we're still working on that pile. Good job, baby. Anthony has been outside, guys, getting it all morning, and look at him, he's eating some delicious breakfast this morning. Some bacon and an omelet.
My favorite omelet.
Yeah, cheese and tomato omelet, which is cool because it's farm fresh eggs and it's tomatoes from the garden. So
yeah, it's very good stuff.
Yeah, and to mention the pork is from Robertson Bellyacre, so I would say that's a pretty good breakfast he's having.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing not farm fresh is the cheese.
Yeah, which maybe someday we'll get to that point, but we're not there yet. I did can some more tomato sauce yesterday. I did want to actually can some diced tomatoes yesterday. That was my whole plan. But I went to go out to look for some jars because I don't want to do in the big jars. I want to do a smaller jar just because of my family. You know, we usually only use about 1 can of diced tomatoes at a time, so I figured using the smaller jars would be a little bit better for us, but I didn't have any yesterday. I went digging. I thought maybe I'd have some. I don't got none. I've been using them, I think, for mainly my jams that I've been making. So I went to the store this morning. I just got back. I bought a whole case full of them, and my plan is, or my goal, hopefully, is that I can fill all 12 of those jars with some diced tomatoes. That's what I'm hoping for. I will tell you one thing, guys, when that canning room is done, I am going to be prepared to fill it up with some home canned goods. I've been working away pretty much at least 1 day a week for the past, I would say, like month or so. I've been taking time and actually canning. It's mainly been tomatoes recently because my tomatoes are just producing out there. But I've also been making like some jams and stuff like that. I've been storing all of my canned goods up on top here. I do not have enough room in my pantry for all my canned stuff, so I've just been kind of stashing them up on top here, but I'm running out of room. Right here, kind of where this plant's at, there is like a whole little section there behind that plant that is just full of tomato sauces that I've been making. And like I said, I got jams and jellies. There's my water glass eggs. I actually have some turkey bone stock up there that I've made. I've just been super busy canning stuff, which is great because for like the past, I would say like 4 years or so, I've canned, but I've just been kind of out of it. I think I kind of burnt myself out because one of the goals I set for myself before we moved out to Arkansas was I wanted to be able to can enough food so at least we could eat what I can to survive for like a month, because we weren't really sure about, you know, how it was going to be out here, so we just want to be prepared. So I canned so much. Every weekend I was canning at least 2 different things. I like went gung-ho on the canning, and I accomplished our goal. We had plenty of food, canned good items. So I kind of like burnt myself out. Plus I never really had, you know, for the last like 3 years, I never had a kitchen to really can in. So it kind of made canning a little more of a hassle than it was actually like a hobby, because it is a hobby for me. I enjoy canning. I love doing research and finding different ways to preserve food and stuff like that. So Yeah, I kind of got out of it for a little while, but I am back into it. I'm actually set a goal for myself. I want to at least one day a week, I told Anthony, one day a week, I want to can something, whether that's tomatoes from the garden, soups, jams, meat, whatever basically kind of maybe what may be on sale that I could use to can some good food with. I shouldn't say canning because I mean it is canning, but I'm preserving. So that's my goal that I have set for myself. So far I've been doing very well. I'm getting a little burnout on canning tomatoes all the time, but that's okay. I think this next canning that I'm doing right now, I think this is going to be pretty much the end of my tomatoes. They're out there, they're kind of shriveling up. They're not really producing as much anymore. So I think they're kind of coming to the end here. I mentioned I was going to be very busy in the kitchen, and not only do I want to process some of my tomatoes, I actually wanted to bake a couple loaves of banana bread. I had some bananas that have been sitting here, and yeah, they turned a little brown, so I didn't want them to go to waste. I figured we'll have one loaf of bread now, and I will probably wrap up the other one and freeze it and save it for a later day. But I also want to make is some chocolate ice cream. If you guys remember, for my birthday a few months back, I got my Ninja Creamy, and Anthony and I, and obviously Wyatt too, we've been using it quite often, especially because it's summertime, so ice cream is a really nice treat to have, and I absolutely love my Creamy. I mentioned I do use it all the time. I've made ice cream, I have made sherbet with just a can of fruit and dumping it in there. But my favorite ice cream is chocolate. And actually, Wyatt has a friend coming over this weekend, and Wyatt asked me if I would make him and his friend some ice cream. So I told him, you got it, but I can totally make you some ice cream. So both of them want chocolate. I made sure he asked his friend what kind of flavors he likes, and he said chocolate. So I'm gonna make 2 chocolate ice creams. And it really sucks because Anthony and I right now, we're kind of on a diet, so we can't really be eating that banana bread. That's part of the reason why I'm gonna save a loaf, so when we get off this diet, we can actually eat it. So we have been doing some meal prep. If you guys follow along on our daily vibes, we've been kind of talking about this meal prep we've been doing. If you don't follow along on the daily vibe with Roxane and Aunt, be sure to check it out and subscribe. We post on there every day, letting everybody know kind of what we do on a regular basis around here. And like I mentioned, one of the things we talk about is we're doing some meal prep stuff. And I noticed some people were commenting and like, you guys should record you doing the meal prep, and what kind of foods do you guys eat on your meal preps? So let me show you. So my fridge is jam-packed right now full of food, and it's cooked food. As you guys can see, I have like these little containers. They got like 3 little spots here and then a bigger, or I should say 2 little spots and a bigger one up top here. And I got enough here to, so we've been doing our meal plans and doing the meal prep stuff for a week, and actually we've been doing dinners and lunches, and I actually been making Wyatt his own little meal prep things. So like one side of the fridge is my food and the other side is Anthony's, and then like at the bottom is Wyatt's stuff. That's how we keep tabs of whose is whose. So I got just a few little things in here. Like here, this one's a meatball one. It's like almost like a Swedish meatball one, and then it's got some like vegetables in here. I got this one right here. This one's like a chicken ham bake thing. You just got to pop it in the oven and bake it, and you got dinner. And it's got some vegetables and stuff in there. Like I mentioned, Anthony and I are on a diet. We are really watching our carbs and stuff right now. So meal prep is very easy, and it kind of deters you from, you know, not following along on your diet plan. At least that's what we've found. I love the meal prep stuff. Even if we're not dieting, the meal prep stuff is just really nice because, you know, there's certain times of the day where Anthony and I, we're starving, we're really hungry, but we can't, you know, it's hard to figure out what to eat. So you tend to always go to the quick and easy stuff versus like the healthier stuff. So to try to deter some of those unhealthy choices that we make, I've got all this food prep. And like I mentioned, there is a wide variety of food in here. I got some salads in here. There's like a chicken Alfredo. Wyatt's got sloppy joes. Some burgers with some homemade mac and cheese. Wyatt's got it going on. I mean, we got it going on too, but we are on a diet, so it kind of sucks that we don't get to eat the good stuff, but it's all for good things. Anthony and I need to, you know, I feel change up our diet a little bit, kind of boost up our energy, and just, you know, kind of recharge and reset after this summer of just kind of doing what it is we feel we needed to do. So yeah, we've been doing it now. This is the 2nd week. So obviously the food containers are kind of going low because we've been eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I found that my favorite so far, and I've made it twice now, is this like chicken Alfredo, and it is so good. Like it has no pastas in it. It's just basically the Alfredo sauce with like the chicken, but it's got like mushrooms and leeks in it. It's like my favorite. I've had it 2 days now in a row for dinner. It's so good. got that done. 2 pints of ice cream here, one for him and one for his friend. I gotta find room in the freezer. I got so much tomatoes. So those gotta sit in the freezer for 24 hours before I can actually use them in the creamy. But it's amazing the transformation, how it kind of goes from like a liquid, kind of looking like chocolate milk, because it's chocolate, right? Looking like chocolate milk. You can't imagine how it'd be ice cream. And then when it freezes and you open it up like the next day, you look at it and it just kind of looks like a frozen like slush. But man, when you put it in that creamy, it just whips it up and makes it just like store-bought perfect ice cream. It's amazing. Well, perfect timing, because my ice cream, I just put it in the freezer and now my bread's ready. Oh man, guys. This is some beautiful looking banana bread. Oh. Well, I got those 2 tasks done this morning already, and I still have plenty of daylight to start working on these tomatoes. It's gonna take me a little while to get them. Yesterday, it took me like an hour to peel about 15 pounds worth of tomatoes. So I got probably another maybe 15, 20 pounds left to do, so I'm gonna be peeling tomatoes for a while, but that's okay. Hi, Vivian. You coming to see what's happening in the kitchen? Yes, hi, Vivian. Here they are, all my glorious tomatoes. This is all I got left. I would say there's, well, definitely for sure 3 full bags. Like, these are so full I couldn't zip them up. But this one's got a little room, and then this one this was like the last bag I was working on to can. Now I'm not sure if I'm gonna get to peel into all these. Like I mentioned, it took me an hour yesterday to peel 3 bags like this. This is only 2 bags worth, but my bowl got full, so I figured I'm going to, I guess, dice these ones up and put them in the jar. I'm gonna do what's called a raw pack, where I'm just taking the tomatoes, cutting them up and putting them right in the jar to get processing. There is a thing called hot, like bath canning or hot water, yeah, hot bath canning. I'm not gonna do that with these because I don't wanna cook them any more down than they're gonna get cooked while they're canning. Because I am, like I mentioned, I'm using these for diced tomatoes, not making tomato sauce. So I'm curious to see like how many tomatoes I can get in one jar. Just gonna dice these up a little bit. I got a lot of cherry tomatoes in here, so I'll just quarter them down. I think that should be good. And the good thing about this is raw packing it's gonna be natural, like tomato juices inside there. I'm not filling it up with water. So that should add some pretty good, I think, flavor. Flavor and stuff to these tomatoes, which is gonna be good. I got some really nice aromas this go round. The very, very first time I canned my tomatoes this year, I didn't have like hardly any aromas. They were all mainly just cherry. But in these batches, some of the bags actually have more aromas than they do cherry, so that's pretty cool. I mean, that's the whole reason why I grew these tomatoes, at least aromas, was to make sauces and some diced tomatoes. That was my whole thought process. So once again, I'm glad that my goals and visions I had for my garden this year are becoming a reality. It's like a truly amazing feeling. But I will say they are a lot easier to peel these tomatoes when they are frozen than they are when they're fresh, I've learned. And I'm finding it that they're a lot easier to cut up and dice up when they're frozen than they are when they're fresh tomatoes, which is nice. Okay, I got 3 bags I did, which is probably like about 15 pounds. I did not weigh this go around. I'm just keeping it real. I'm kind of over tomatoes, but that's okay. This is the last little bit, and this was like the biggest reason why I wanted to grow. But I got 9 jars of diced tomatoes. Man, that is crazy. I mean, look at them. They're beautiful. I just can't get over it. So, I'm very proud of myself right now. I just keep admiring them. But I gotta clean the rims off here and get the lids on. My canner is just about ready for these. I hope all of these will fit in my canner. My canner can only hold so much. I barely got 9 of those jars in here, so it's a good thing I didn't have 10, because it wouldn't have worked out too well. But my canner's going. This is gonna actually take about an hour and a half to process these, so I guess I'll just be cleaning up and waiting around for these to finish. It has been a few hours. Wyatt is home from school. I actually sat down and relaxed a little bit. I allowed my cans to kind of cool off, so let's see how they turned out. Here's my last jar. They turned out so nice. I'm so glad that I was able to get 9 jars of tomatoes, so I think that's enough to last us for a while, so we won't even have to buy them from the grocery store, which is amazing. It saves us money. It didn't really cost me that much of my time. And if you guys know me, I enjoy cooking, so I really didn't mind going through all this work. Well, it has been 24 hours, guys, and my ice cream is officially 100% frozen. So I just figured I'd show you guys really quickly how this Ninja Creamy works and how the ice cream looks when it's done. So here it is right now. It's just kind of looks like frozen chocolate milk. That's the best way I can describe it. The cool thing about this Creamy is it does have multiple settings on it, and I've made sherbet, and I actually have made some milkshakes with this. You can actually take, like, if you don't eat all of this whole pint of ice cream and there's like maybe a quarter of it left, you just fill it up with, I think it's like 2 cups of milk, put it in there, and you have a really nice, thick, good milkshake. So it's got a little, like, holder, I guess, to hold your ice cream in there. And then you got this lid that's got like some blades and stuff that you just kind of lock it in on top. Like so. Put it in this. And then it just kind of latches up and locks in place, and you hit the button. Ice cream button. But I can tell you guys, this is probably one of the best kitchen appliances I've bought. Actually, I say that about every single kitchen appliance I have, because I would say every single kitchen appliance I own, I use for one recipe or one cooking thing, something. It's done. It does not take very long to make ice cream in this Creamy. That was probably maybe like a minute, minute and a half. It really doesn't take that long. It doesn't really look any different, but I mean, look at this, guys. That's ice cream for sure. Look at it. I'm gonna try a little bit. It's so good. It really sucks that I'm on a diet, but so good. It tastes, this almost kind of tastes like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it almost tastes like a Wendy's frosting. That's the Frosty. That's the best way I can describe it. It is so good, so creamy. Just a few simple ingredients, and a creamy, and a minute and 30 seconds later I have homemade ice cream. I love it.